Hey, what's up, everybody? Huh, things are actually working tonight for now, it looks like. So, change to start off with things actually working. But yeah, I just cracked a Thirsty Dog, their Barktoberfest, their Marzen beer. But yeah, Oktoberfest doesn't actually start for 3 days, but I held off on the fall beers till about now. So it's one of the things I like to be seasonal. I hate when I see that stuff coming out in August, but it also was 85 degrees today, and there's what, 5 more days left of summer. But I held off for a while, anyways. Haven't put up any of the fall decorations yet, though. So
Mikhail subscribed to the channel.
So yeah, said Carl P. Welcome to 105. Appreciate the channel membership. Nate the Great, how's it going? Naptown, what's up? Box Hill, Rock. Yeah, I guess Rock Eastwood. Were you in Japan when you started watching the channel? Or were you in PA? I have no idea what time it'd be in Japan right now. Yeah, I think so. 30 plus, maybe. Clunky, how's it going? Place is lost. So yeah, I did want to start off with a quick since I've been all over the place and I've missed a number of weeks that's kind of how it always goes in summer sometimes with travel and work. But I think the whole thing is whenever I ask people if I should do the live stream specifically on a topic or if I should keep them loose and just chat about whatever, like we'll be doing tonight, it's always 50-50 split. So I think the kind of thing that's happened is since we're doing party size every other week, those are the times where we're a little bit less engaged with the chat, but sticking to a topic, or just engaging with the chat when it's on topic, and so not just answering the random questions. So when people jump in and party size is on, and you just, unlike usually how I'll take any right turn at any moment in the streams, we kind of tend to stick on the topic unless it's the two of us who get way off. So that's kind of why I think when it's just me, then I won't really have a hard and fast plan on what we talk about. We could just let it go wherever it does, like we did for, most of the streams. So I think that's kind of the best method. It's kind of makes it more enjoyable for me. And then I know just talking to some of the people who've watched the streams forever, they just don't want to always hear me talk about the exact same handlebars or what my opinion on Brooks saddles are. So it kind of breaks that up, having party size on and having a, more of like a podcast style conversation. So we should be doing that again next week. I think he said he was good 2 weeks out. I thought I was going to have something, but it looks like it's not going to happen. So, but I'll keep everyone posted as always in the Discord or with YouTube posts. So anyways, what's up, Andy? Hey, what's up, William LeBron? Monica, new subscriber from Portland, Oregon. Thanks. I appreciate it. 10 a.m. Japan time. Okay. Started watching in PA when you were searching for bike trails in the area and found the C&O Canal. Oh, nice. You probably told me that, but I don't remember a lot. It's not because I've gotten too big for my britches. I just don't remember things. So, speaking of that, that's the other kind of just channel news is there's a lot of people who emailed me from the video that came out a few weeks ago. There's still comments on that video I haven't got to. I put that video out. It did really well. It got a big response everywhere in DMs. And so I just never really caught up because I just had a lot of work and I was, riding my bike a ton when that hit. So it's something I've still been working my way through. Last night I sat down and worked my way back through a bunch of comments. And so, obviously work has to take priority because for those of you who don't know, I don't know we're even close to doing YouTube for a living. So but like Naptown says, one of the things I still always like to do is put something in the description or title and if we end up going in that direction, great. And then if we go off wherever, that's fine as well. So, so I did put in the description, does anyone do anything to get your bikes ready this time of year as the seasons are changing? Or do you, for me, I generally wait more towards winter to have like a real change in any kind of plan. But Naptown said putting the fenders back on. I actually left mine on the Gunner all year, but I didn't do a ton of mountain biking this summer either. I think only a couple times, and they just really haven't bothered me that much. And then in the end of October, now we're going to be heading out east, and even though that's really rough terrain, I think I'm going to leave them on. So I think might have become a year-round fender guy on at least one bike. So. Thanks, Not Elsewhere. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a good trip over the weekend. A lot of fun riding up to Cleveland. I love that ride, just taking the towpath and taking the time just to get up that way. It's so pretty going through the national park and everything, even when it is a little busy. Like I said, on the weekends, usually I tend to go south. It's just less busy on the towpath. And almost sometimes we were saying there's more nature on the towpath going south, even though it's a little more like actually populated by people living there because it's, not a park. There's just less people out. So I feel like you see more blue heron sometimes and stuff like that. But I do love the ride to Cleveland. It's really cool. What's up, Michigan Biker and Bicycletta? When's the next season of Gravel Badass? It's one of those things that's been in the plans forever, and it just has not come together. And, Dirty River's willing to support it as well. Even talked about potential sponsorships for the whole series, but just haven't gotten it together. So no hard, fast plans on it, but it's still something I want to do. Like that kind of interview from the bike style series was, I thought, a lot of fun, a little bit challenging, but that's what I enjoyed about it as well. So what's up, Dimitri? I need to say comment, like, subscribe more in my videos. Yeah. The Volta, yeah, Raymond, that was pretty wild. Yeah, I feel bad for the riders, but I obviously feel way worse for the Palestinians. So there you go. But yeah, it definitely like made it harder to watch, as you didn't know if the stage was even gonna go anywhere or like the last stage getting canceled. I don't know. Of course, I'm not on the ground, and even some of the commentators who were didn't really have a lot to say about it. But it sure seems like the organization, I'm not saying could have done a better job of keeping the race on, but it seems like a lot of the riders were not informed on what was happening from day to day, and I think that's a down. Like that's definitely not fair to them. So I don't know. I feel like they should have been more aware of what it was looking like at the finish lines on these days than it seems like from what the riders are posting on Instagram and saying in interviews were. But yeah, that was wild. So, and I think it's going to be the way things are going forward. I think we're going to see more and more of this. And yeah. Heavy Lead Bell, you said you just clean your bikes up, make adjustments, maybe swap tires out. Yeah, that's one thing I am like. I need to do some work on the tires on a couple bikes, but I was kind of trying to run them down as far as I could before, right now. And then because we will be heading out east and doing some more gnarly riding and stuff like that. So yeah. Fall bike prep, drive to Texas. Nice. Naptown, you just think your bikes look and sound better without the fenders, but they're a necessary evil. Yep. Um, yeah, looks really depends. Some bikes look really good with the fenders. It just depends, I guess, on the bike. I do like a bike that's like set up with like cool looking fenders could look fine, or like Velo Orange fenders. I'm running just like your like Planet Bike or something, black fenders on the gunner, so they are nothing fancy, but that's not really a bike that I have set up for looks much. Like I said, I've done kind of some stuff with like pink touches on it, but yeah, it's not a bike that aesthetically like, you know, really is like that's just not the priority for me on that bike. So I guess the fenders don't bother me as much, and they do rattle, especially when I mountain bike or do anything rough. You could obviously get more permanent fenders that shouldn't rattle very much, but those are not ones that you want to be taking on and off. At least I wouldn't want to, anyways. So if you're doing like full custom fenders. Bike birding, yeah. Year-round fenders. What's next? Knee socks and sandals. Well, that's the thing of having multiple bikes, though. So I don't always have to ride the fender bike if I don't want to. I mean, I don't have fenders on my gravel bike, and so, if it's not going to be super rough riding, then I'm, you know. I think it's definitely a different calculation if you are only riding like one main bike, maybe. What's up, Bicycletta? Due for a new chain and a new BB. Yeah, Erin was just telling me today she took her bike to the shop and they had warned her about she needed a new chain a while ago and didn't do it. So it actually wore out her cassette. So the chain thing is something that probably all of us should stay on more on top of. Well, I don't know. Some of you maybe do stay on top of that, but if you don't, maybe should. So just ordered panniers and a surly front rack for a trip around Halloween. Nice. Yeah, that's when I'll be gone. I'll be leaving on because we go down the day before Nutmeg. We were just talking about it today. I'll be leaving on October 23rd. So I don't think I'll be gone on Halloween, but we haven't decided on what our plans are after. I think post Nutmeg, it just might be me and Large Marge doing something together. But again, we haven't like knocked all that out, planned it all out. I haven't talked to Funny Brad about what his plans are. But it sounds like Aaron just wants to come back in a couple days after Nutmeg, and I don't know, might want to stay out there and ride more or work my way part of the way back, mix it in with a train, mix it in with running a car, something I just need to figure out. Put some ass savers and fenders on your bridge club. And I do keep like a plastic fender that I put on whatever bike I'm riding if it's going to rain, like just one of those, like something like an ass saver basically. So I never go out if I know it's going to rain, even if I don't feel like riding the gunner without at least protecting my butt and my back. I don't know why everyone doesn't have a clip-on plastic, some kind of clip-on plastic fender that you could just swap around at the least. I mean, I guess unless you live somewhere where it never rains, but it always rains here except for the last little bit. Oh. I thought that was the cat. I guess it was just a fruit fly or something. I don't know. Edmund hasn't been like since I came down here to get set up for the stream. I'm like, are you gonna come down and hang out? And so I put some treats down here for him. So, but he's not sitting on my lap right now. What brand wool boxers do I wear for riding? I have a few brands. I have just REI's brand because they're more affordable. Sometimes they go on sale pretty well, and I like them. And the other ones I have are Smart Wool, and then I have some from the brand that I have the link in the description for. They've sent me a number of their winter stuff, and they've sent me. No, I just bought those with my own money. They're like, I tried their boxer briefs too, so I wear those sometimes. I'm more a fan of just the classic wool boxers, though, to be honest. I think if you're used to wearing like some kind of briefs, then you wouldn't mind them, but I'm just not, so I prefer just the Smart Wool or REI or just typical wool boxers. I actually haven't worn any of them out too much, whereas like so much other wool stuff and it does. It's just a fact of wool. You just wear it out, which is unfortunate. I always liken it to expensive tires. They feel better, they cost more money, but they also wear out faster. So teamwork sucks. Just found the channel. Nice. Inspired you to buy a 97 Gary Fisher Aquila. Any suggestions for a new biker in the Dayton, Ohio area? Like what to ride or what to do with it? Two different things, but Dayton has a lot of great just, like normal bike paths that go through there if you're asking for riding suggestions. But that's all I've ever done in Dayton. I came through there on our bike tour this summer, and then me and Aaron have done just like a weekend trip there, just riding out on the paths and around the city. But actually, Bicycletta would be the one with the best recommendations because that's where he is down there. I see the Model Infinity bags in the background. Yeah, they sent me that. Oh, I can never point right. Everything's backwards on this. Yeah, they sent me their toolkit with a whole bunch of them in there, and also their new like style or newer style, like their Omni Links, which like so you can make like a package style thing, and then the hook studs, which are kind of cool. But yeah, I love them. I use them all the time. Was using them on the trip over the weekend, so I could just have my beefier lock out front and not have to put an extra bag on the bike. Just kind of didn't have time to get ready, so. Basically, I plan on Nutmeg for next year. Yeah, it's my favorite bike event of the year, so.
Blaze_Powertron subscribed to the channel.
Thanks, Blaze. The REI boxers are no longer a thing? Huh. That must be fairly recent, because I feel like I've ordered another pair not that long ago. But, yeah, kind of slowly building up a collection, because it's my favorite thing to ride in. But they do put the other stuff on sale. Yeah, I mean, even Smart Wool and stuff. But now is probably, I don't know, is now a time of year where that stuff would get marked down. But hey, how's it going, bud? There you go, Tuesday night ride in Dayton. Baumberger Park at 5 p.m. Naptown, been to Dayton a bunch, but never ridden a bike there. Yeah, we came through this year. We stopped for a coffee. Did we do anything else when we were in town? No, this year we just got a coffee, but like I said, me and Aaron have bounced around a little more and checked more out. It was a holiday weekend, though, so I know when we were there the one time, not a ton was open, but... Hey, what's up, Rex? Oh, is Press Coffee the one we went to? It must be. We went to so many good coffee shops on that trip. I couldn't. The names kind of run together. I probably said it in the video, but now forgot. Yeah, we went to that Final Coffee in Washington Courthouse was another really good one. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like some people like the boxer brief, some don't. It just really a plan. What's up, Daniel? Fan of padded liners. Yeah, I don't ever bought a few padded boxers. Then I mostly ended up wearing them when I still rode the trainer a little bit. Really felt like I needed them on the trainer since you're kind of just stuck in that position. But I just never felt like, yeah, the padded shorts make me feel like I'm wearing a diaper. I just can't stand them. And I just don't need them with Brooks saddles, to be honest. But I've never really had that much of a problem with any other saddles either, though, that I have. But yeah, I'm glad that's not a thing for me. But I know I'm in the minority when it comes to probably cyclists in general on that one. So discontinued. Huh, that's a bummer that REI discontinued there because it was weighted. I felt like the quality was pretty much the same as Smartwool, but yeah, could be a lot cheaper. Ah, what's up, Nathan? Just met a neighbor riding same commute through San Juan. He just moved to Akron. We got to talking and found out that his buddy from DC told him about my channel too. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Who told me? Oh, I was working with a guy today from the University of Akron, for the University of Akron. And where was he telling? He told me he was somewhere. Yeah, he was somewhere traveling too, and he said he's from Akron. And the guy was like, "Oh, I watch a Akron YouTube channel." So that's it's still so crazy to hear when it happens, but that's awesome. Oh, Astropup doing the Autumn Classic in Oxford, Michigan this week. Yeah, too bad. I'm working this weekend, so I couldn't do it, but that looks like such a cool event. I have the Towpath Century Ride, their big fundraiser to photograph on Saturday. Oh, and then my buddy, I did want to bring this up. Woody has his event. So anyone who's in the area should come out. His cyclocross event, Thrill on the Hill, Roach Clips. So it's a fun time to hang out, even if you're not going to race. You could do like practice laps on the course if you've never done cyclocross, so you get a chance to at least see what it's like. But yeah, there'll be people hanging out, drinking beers, cheering everyone on. I'm going to be my goal is to try and capture a pretty cool video with my more of my professional stuff and maybe do a few interviews and all that kind of thing and have the video be more like that. But the weather right now is looking iffy, but who knows? It doesn't mean anything because that's on Sunday and it's only Tuesday. So, yeah. Astropup, I'm glad you brought up that because it reminded me that I wanted to share this. So, I actually will drop a link to the bike reg. So, even if you don't want to register, you could at least see all the information. Where'd my mouse go? There we go. Daniel said you're fat ass who sweats too much and rides 30-ish miles a day. So you got to wear padded stuff most of the time. Yeah. Oh, they totally feel like a diaper. Where did I lose my space? Hey, what's up, Dennis? What's up, Mary? Always jealous of folks who could get away with jorts and a Metal Band T-shirt. Yeah, I mean, this is what I rode in today. Just a cotton T-shirt and yeah, just some chrome shorts with. I just have cheap normal cotton boxers on today. Large, I already forgot what you were talking about with Sand Run. Unless you were commenting on another comment that I missed. So I can't remember what wearing a diaper feels like. I just imagine it's what padded shorts feel like. Really appreciate me mentioning people that don't acknowledge you on the bike path. Yeah, like on the tow path, it was a really busy day. So, I mean, like saying hello is like saying hello a million times. But I just always think it's weird to pass another person on a bike and not at least be like, hey, what's up? Or just like a hand or whatever. But I think it's weirder out on the road because then it's just the two of you going in different, you're really not going to acknowledge. So the joke is always roadies don't wave. But I do rave to some. There are some roadies who wave. Did I put that OTET alternative route on Ride with GPS? My stuff automatically uploads there, so it should be there. I don't actively use Ride with GPS that much. I have it in case people send me routes there, but so yes, if you went and searched through my rides, it should be up there, but I don't label anything. So Strava is the better place if you want to see the route we actually did. So obviously, if you follow one of my routes on Strava, it includes any mistakes we made or any stops we decided to make or whatever. But I think that should be pretty obvious to anyone who's used any routing app before. So, hi, yeah, Naptown. Cyclocross is fun. The races are big parties for the fans. You all go if you're in the area, for sure. That's what I tried to make the video about it last year, kind of explaining that. I used the clickbaity title of like better than gravel, but from a fan perspective, it is better than gravel because you go watch a gravel race. It's like watching a pro race. They go by you, and then maybe you can catch them at one other spot, and then maybe at the finish line. But cyclocross, you kind of get, you totally get to see almost the whole race and can move around at different points. He's going to have a taco food truck. I think Zephyrline Workshop, who makes cool cycling caps, is going to be there. Last year, someone brought a bunch of donuts. Dirty River took the Yeti ride out there, and those guys came out with a bunch of beers and were hanging out. So, yeah, it's always a good time to meet people and chat. Also, everyone always comments on my videos like, "Oh, I'd love to meet you. I'd love to hang out." And then I put this stuff out there and no one shows up. Not no one, but very few people. It's always like, "Hey, come on, you should do something where we could all hang out." And it's like, well, here you go. I'm telling you about something we could do where we all hang out. I said we were going to be in Cleveland last weekend. I publicly put that in the Discord that, we'd be up there, and yeah, we had a great time seeing Peter DJ and stuff. So anyone was, welcome to show up or hit me up and be like, "Hey, when are you going to be passing through this area?" So, yeah. Places Lost said with me on the padded shorts, don't notice any gain. And when you get up there, highly uncomfortable. Yeah, it's just like anything. Like we always talk about on these live streams too. Saddles are really personal, so clothing is going to be really personal. And I only know what it's like to be my build, So, but overcast weather is underrated. Make for some moody photos. Yeah, we're into the time of year where photos are getting pretty good most of the day, but yeah, I'll still take sun and blue skies, but for in the woods or people riding against the grass, clouds would definitely look better, especially for the video. But we'll deal with whatever we have. I was even thinking of maybe borrowing. Aaron has one of those pop-up tents that the teams will have too, or food vendors have. Borrow that from her if it is going to be really bad, because then I could do bring a chair and do interviews in there with people. I thought that'd be a cool idea. And when I talked to Erin before she went to bed tonight, there was one thing I wanted to ask her, and that's what it was. Now I just remember it, of course. What's up, Cassidy? So, oh, Dennis, you still haven't been on your bike in over a year. Jeez. Recovery, what's up? Thanks, I appreciate that. Didn't make it to Boston this year. The last video I made in Boston, I said it might be the last time I was out there for a while because I thought my friend was going to be moving out, but he's still out there in Boston. So, but just didn't get out there this summer. We kept trying to get together and it never worked, even somewhere else to see a concert or something. But get greeting fatigue while riding on paths, especially on busy days. Yeah, I think what Erin, part of what she was saying too is so when we stopped, you still think someone would acknowledge you once in a while, and then you at least throw that wave or you do the head nod if they're looking in your direction. But follow the rule from 2 seconds. Great bike movie. Huh. Me and Party Size will have to add that to the list because we do want to do another bike movie stream like we did before. But just a subtle accomplishment when you pass a fellow cyclist. Is that a typo? Acknowledgement. I bet that was supposed to be an acknowledgement. Yeah. I thought I blocked this guy. He must have started a new A new account. These people are Democrats. They stand for Satan worshiping, drag king grooming, children introducing porn, men showering with. Those are two. See, that's the thing. You call everyone else a hypocrite, but if you're calling me out for being gay, then you can't say I shower with little girls, and then doesn't make any sense. I do like to drink a lot. You're right. I'm drinking right now, and I do like porn too. But you're off base on the first parts. Heavy Lead Belly, you divested from about a year ago, so you don't always know what's going on. I gave up Facebook, which was pretty easy. The event thing, basically, I think I mentioned this before, but what I did is organizations that I care about, I signed up for their newsletters, so I just get their email newsletter. So Downtown Akron Partnership, the arts groups in town and stuff like that. So that made up for missing the events for the most part. I haven't been able to give up Instagram yet because it's just too much. That's just too much of a way to communicate with people, but I would love to. I was hoping Blue Sky would take off more. I'm still using it, and there are a lot of people here. A lot of people in the chat are using it and stuff like that, but it's still not that critical mass of people that it makes up for, the kind of communication you could do on Instagram, unfortunately. So, yeah, hopefully one day I would love to give it up. A tarp would probably be pretty decent for out of the rain interviews. Yeah, but I want to be able to use my good camera, wireless mics, and all that stuff. Maybe. Hey, there's Edmund. Edmund, over here. Hey. Hey, why don't you come sit with me? He's thinking about it. At least I know he's coming. He usually scares the heck out of me. But yeah. Naptown, haven't been on it. Here he comes. On a bike in over an hour. I guess I rode from about 6 to 7, so. Oh, hey, bud. We got him. Say hello. No. Sean, you'll be at the CX. Nice. You crashed pretty bad last weekend, so have no idea if you'll be any good, but you're going to try. Yeah, and I think that's also part of the thing that I enjoy about cyclocross is it is like gravel where some people are riding it just to ride it. You know what I mean? They're not, putting in an effort, but they're not trying to podium or anything. It doesn't have to be like where you're going all out to kill yourself or be, the best. But so I've been smoking spliffs and the lungs were burning this morning. 2 seconds. Good flick. I'll have to look that up. Someone if anyone is, on here in the Discord, if they could pop that in somewhere so we remember, or share a well, I got my notes here. That's why I keep my pens and papers down here to remember this stuff. 2 seconds. And I need a right movie because what I'll do is I'll come look at this next week and I'll be 2 seconds till what? Drink beer, smoke seed, ride bikes, hail Satan. Your account on Instagram got hacked and banned and you never bothered making another one. Hey, if you're off there, I just, stay off. The habit's already been broke. Yeah. Yeah, one thing about, breweries, restaurants, posting of what's going on with Instagram is helpful. Facebook was easy because in the end, they just made it such a TikTok algorithm that I couldn't control what I was seeing. Instagram, if I keep shutting down those every 30 days, not letting it suggest things to me, I'm only seeing what I want. It's still an algorithm, but I got to say at the point when you start interacting with more people, the algorithm isn't always horrible. I do feel like it's keeping more of the people I actually interact with up there and, whatever. It is what it is. But at least it is just people I'm following and then advertisements, which sometimes make stories unwatchable. I'll watch stories for a little bit, then I'm like, I can't flip out another ad. I'm sick of it. But in general, if you do keep your Instagram clean, you can keep it to what you're actually what you've clicked on that you're following. So, yeah. So, Cleesta, you said, I, I always, when I see your icon, I want to, because did you change your channel name or is it your Instagram name? Maybe that's different. I thought it's the bike show, right? Anyways, envy weather over here, currently in the bear months here in the Philippines, rains and storms. Do you still bike to work around 25 kilometers? Nice. Yeah, we're lucky we don't have a true rainy season. Like spring and fall, it can rain a lot, but it also might not. Like we don't have like what you guys got where it's going to, it's going to happen. None of the towpath bars are on Blue Sky. I also like the idea of the Fediverse thing, like making like how Blue Sky and then the alternative that uses the different platform Mastodon are trying to make it so you could take your screen names with you to different platforms. And I don't use Threads, but I think Threads actually works like that too, where you could set a setting in your Threads that makes it so people on different platforms could follow those. So that would be awesome. That would be like a big game changer if one of these could get critical mass, but people are stupid and they're like, I'm supposed to use Instagram. I guess I click on it. And then you try and tell them like, hey, if you use Threads, you could change the setting, and they don't do it. But, Oh, yeah. Did someone drop the link to Discord yet? It pops up every so often. If not, do ! Discord, and it'll give you the link to join. But that is one great thing about Discord is not algorithm. It's just the people you want to talk to. And that's why I mostly post about like meetups and rides there, because anyone could follow you on Instagram, and I don't really know like what that list looks like. Whereas Discord, it just makes everything one step removed from Discord and Instagram, where people have to kind of go there on purpose, and I just feel way more comfortable sharing in that space. So, I mean, anyone could be nefarious anywhere, but yeah. Drink water. I'm not sure what you're talking about here. I've been skipping the fence on the gap looking for the damage. Maybe the cliff will fall in the trail. Skipping the gap. 2 seconds on YouTube. You'll send me a link on Facebook. Nice. What's up, Donald? 28.5 miles in today. Yeah, it was a little warm, but it was nice. I actually didn't ride till the evening, and it dropped a little bit by then. I was working outside today at the Bath Nature Preserve. The university has a field station over there, but that was really cool. They were entomology students, so looking for insects. So I got some cool photos of students like capturing these different insects and telling me what they were. I didn't realize how many insects have I guess like a disguise of being a yellow jacket to ward off predators. It was cool. There's beetles and just flies and stuff like that. Anyways. Hey, what's up, Mile High? Been a while. It's just exclamation Discord if someone didn't already do it. I see they did. Okay, cool. Winter is looking more brutal. I know it's predicted. Didn't the Farmer's Almanac and stuff. But last winter here was, I don't know, as tough as it gets. I mean, there were some super cold days. We had snow on the ground for over a month. So I actually, if it's going to be cold, I would rather it snow. But it's all going to wear on me no matter what. But I felt like last winter was a pretty tough one. So it started late though, because I mean, fall was beautiful. I mean, it was me and Large were just talking about this, but he rode home all the way from Nutmeg. But me and Dylan did a camping trip too. The nights were cold, but on Halloween we were riding the OCA in t-shirts. I had shorts on, so I thought I could just say it and it would appear. Yeah, all the commands are exclamation point, then like the word. So Biking friends, I would definitely. We were talking about Facebook. I don't know if you're on there. It's a way to do it if there are groups, but local bike shops, if they do group rides, is the way I find that most people tend to meet each other around here, and I know other people have mirrored that, but um, here in Akron, Dirty River hosts a Sunday ride every morning that's chill, and met a ton of people through that, and I know other groups have met each other and then gone off and formed their groups that do other things. There's a thing called Bike Party in Akron. Some cities have critical mass. I would just try to use whatever resources, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, local bike shops, to find out. Ask the people who work there, do you know of any bike group rides around? Because, yeah, everybody on the group ride is not going to be, and want to do the same kind of thing as you, but there'll be somebody, that will. So I don't know how small your town is either. I'm in Akron, which is a decent sized city, and then Cleveland is close, which is, a real city. So, and there's just a bunch of bike shops and a bunch of stuff going on around here, thank God. So. Barely touch Mastodon because it's just too frustrating to deal with. I tried it at first, and then it just it just seemed like Blue Sky got a little more traction. So I didn't delete Mastodon or anything, but I haven't really used it yet. And unfortunately, I think those are two things that don't actually link, and they're two different versions of the Fediverse, where Mastodon is more open, right? If I remember correctly. I'm not an expert in any of that. I just, like I said, want to completely be off Facebook and Instagram at some point if it's possible. Oh man, I don't have a recommendation for a Cannondale with a carbon fork because, I run Jack the Rack on my bike with a carbon fork because it doesn't have any mounts. So I guess I do have a recommendation. Look up Jack the Rack because it doesn't need to mount to anything but your bars. It's not going to be able to handle as much weight as something that would have more mounting points. Obviously, I also never want personally. I don't want the struts that go all the way down to the eyelets because then it would take any. It wouldn't matter as much with carbon, but it's still going to stiffen your fork. So I kind of like Jack the Rack for that purpose too, or just even on some of my bikes with steel forks that I do have a basket. I do have the ones that don't go like all the way to the bottom of the fork, but I don't know. I know there's debate about how much suspension is forks. I feel there is, but. Carbon forks can do racks if they're designed for it. So some are, some aren't. You just got to look at the specs. Some have the eyelets and stuff built in, the mounts built in, but they will tell you the weight limit. They should tell you the weight limit and all that kind of thing. So. You did change your name. The Nongsky Show on your URL. Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, nice, Mile High. I remember you saying last year that you were hoping to do that this fall. Yeah, I don't follow it, but their websites will tell you Mile High. The Gap and the CNO both have websites that will update that stuff. Just beware. If it rains on the CNO, it could be tough going no matter what. But, yeah, I know Traveling Through is putting out videos right now on YouTube doing the trail, but I don't know how delayed they are from when he's putting them out to when he's actually riding it. So, Scott Copeland. Yeah, I haven't had regular TV the whole time I've lived at the studio, believe it or not. So, almost 10 years. Yeah, moved here in 2015, so never seen Dancing with the Stars. What's up, Keith? Enjoying these last days of summer? Yeah. Just picked up a Surly one by one. Is that how you pronounce that? I don't even know. But with some fat tires. Been a blast. Nice. Yeah, that's right, Sean. It stayed nice through December, and then it was after Christmas when everything got really crazy. Yeah, the studded tires are what's were the game changer for me for winter riding. It just gave me so much more confidence. It doesn't mean they work in everything, but for roads that have like slush or a little bit of ice, they've been a game changer for my keeping riding in the winter. So Of course, people in Akron are familiar with Dr. Bob. Yeah, it's a huge deal. I was photographing early this morning at the new Akron History Center. It's our bicentennial this year, and they have the door from what was it? I was working on not photographing the museum for the museum, but Zippy, our mascot, the university, for the calendar, so I wasn't able to pay attention to everything in there. I want to go back and spend some time, but I think the door is from the hospital that, which I ride by Recovery on almost all my videos, where Dr. Bob, is that where he had his first meeting with? I'm familiar with Dr. Bob. I don't know the whole story. I know people come in every year and go to all the different spots, but that hospital has just been torn down, and that's one thing I pass before I go over the bridge on almost every single video into downtown Akron, but. Yeah, people are really aware of it, and then because everyone comes in on, so many people coming on motorcycles on Founders Day too, so it's, you always know when it's Founders Day. When I lived in Highland Square, I lived not far from where Dr. Bob's house was, so all the motorcycles heading over there doing their pilgrimage stuff. But yeah, typically your typical Akronite would be aware that AA was founded here. So, oh, Blue Sky is, I think it's identical to old Twitter. I can't even tell that. I mean, it's, and one of the guy who founded it used to work for Twitter, right? So I think it was basically, he was saying that's what his vision for Twitter was. So, oh yeah, Strava is a place that people have met. I know even our buddy Dylan, who I ride with down in Columbus, he started riding with some other mountain bikers through Strava and stuff like that. And now there's DMs on Strava. There's Strava groups. That is another good way to meet people. You could see who's riding around and stuff in your area. I don't know why Cleveland's bad rap comes from way back. I mean, it's been like, you can see from the video, like the construction, they're turning all the like old buildings into condos and apartments, and Cleveland's got a great food scene. The flats are so cool with the river through there and everything. It's, yeah, Cleveland's a great city. I mean, it's like any place, it's got struggles. I mean, it's a post-industrial city. I mean, it's still overbuilt for, the people that used to live there. There's parts of town that are still bad. I mean, but that's the world. But yeah, Cleveland's got awesome neighborhoods. The downtown is great. Cleveland's got there was big money here, Rockefeller and all that stuff. So the museum is awesome. The Cleveland Orchestra is one of the best in the world. So yeah. Yeah, Cleveland's got a lot. Yep. Yeah, Mastodon is full Fediverse, where Blue Sky is some kind of sort of Fediverse. Yeah. Been told Cleveland rocks, yeah, by Michael Stanley, right? And Drew Carey. Favorite Ohio-based beer? I'm a fan of it's over here. Missing Falls right here in Akron. Well, I'm in Cuyahoga Falls, but right down the street in Akron. We were just in the Cleveland video when I went to Noble Beast. That's one of my favorites. I really like Masthead a lot, which is also up in Cleveland. I like Magic City a lot, which is here, south of here in Akron. But yeah, there's a lot. I couldn't say I have one because there's a lot of breweries in Columbus. I like Athens with Jackie O's and Birdfish, and so yeah, there's a few of them for you. Last winter was your first one without a car, all downhill from here. Yeah. And your winters are just a little less tough being down in Dayton, but I think it was still pretty. I just know my Columbus friends still had a tough winter, but I think less snow. But yeah, the ride from Akron to Cleveland is amazing. Favorite way to rack up some distances, for sure. The way we came back, too, I love. And you could go back on, I said it in the video, but the other side of the Cleveland Metro Parks, there's just, yeah. When it comes to bike trails, that is the one thing, Northeast Ohio and kind of Ohio in general really has going for it. Like I said, you could see that in my opinion, the culture in Cleveland is pretty good. I've never had any issues riding my bike there. Of course, I don't ride there every day, but you're always going to have run-in with jerk drivers if you ride your bike in a city every day. But I feel like it's way less than in Akron, where they just don't want you out there and they're not used to it. Oh, Reese, awesome. I do remember your name from sending out the merch, so I'm glad you got it. Sometimes I don't know, because on the merch, I don't do tracking. That's how I do it for free, except for the T-shirts. But like the stickers, I'm just sticking them in an envelope with a sticker on. Same with the bandanas. That's why I could do them without putting shipping on it. I just took 2 stamps. So yeah, so it's annoying because then I just when someone emails me that they didn't get their stuff, I just have to send it back out. But I think overall it makes it probably more cost effective. Who knows? Naptown, you're turning 50 the first week of October. Kind of forgot to plan any big rides or anything. Yeah. I know a lot of people do like the double your age mileage on the birthday. I have a friend who does that. So, yeah, it's so funny. Naptown at the Akron History, they shoot the woman. I don't know if she's like the manager of the place, whatever you would call it, who was showing like me and the mascot and the other person who was helping with the mascot around. I don't think she said a single thing about Akron that I didn't already know. So. But yeah, I'm a history nerd in general, so local history is even more interesting. But Bicycletta, our friends rode from here to Chicago, but your route would be different coming from that far south, so I don't think that would help you at all. But I haven't done that I haven't gone that way. I would like to do some Indiana riding. The mountain biking out there, I really want to do Brown County, but I've wanted to do a bike packing trip Indiana too. Yeah, I was in, well, it's been a while now, but when I was in Milwaukee, it's now we're looking at, yeah, probably not, God, I can't believe how old I'm getting, but 10 years ago, I went to see actually Jenny Lewis play with the Watson twins doing a 10-year anniversary of her first solo album. Jeez, so that's 20 years now. But yeah, I went to Milwaukee for that, and I loved it. I saw so many people riding. I wish I went with two people who aren't cyclists. We were there for the show, and it made me wish I had my bike so bad. But yeah, even 10 years ago, saw a lot of people out there riding when we were just walking to restaurants and stuff. I really like the market in Milwaukee too. I can't remember the name of it. We went to that market. We sat at a seafood place and had a couple drinks. That was awesome. Yeah. Indiana Dunes. Yeah, I've never been there either, but I've read about it. Dr. Bob saved your life. Nice. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Founders Day and all that, so we hear that, a lot. But I've been to Ray's. I know where Ray's is. Go from Dr. Bob to there used to be a brewery in Ray's that I used to go to sometimes. But the indoor mountain biking thing really isn't my cup of tea. I just feel like I'm going to break an arm. I know people tell me I won't, but it's just, I don't know. I ride outdoor in the winter. Yeah. People love it. I have a lot of friends who love it. Joy Machines does last winter they were doing a weekly ride up there on Wednesdays, I think. So I don't know if they're going to bring that back this year, but I should go try it and just be conservative and ride the simple trails. But driving to ride my bike is never one of my favorite things. So I have to go somewhere to go ride indoors. And I don't know. I guess I felt like that in the 90s, though. Like my friends who skated and went to indoor skate parks in the winter. I did it a couple times. And then I'm like, I'm just not that in love with skating that I need to go do it in the winter. And I think the same thing with mountain biking where I'll just go ride the pass or whatever. But yeah, people love it. And I know they do great upgrades all summer long to get ready for the next season. So people travel for it. I know people come out from Pittsburgh. People come up from Columbus. I've been to the Jackie O's and loved it. Yeah, there's two. There's the original location, which is kind of like an old bar, and then there's like their newer brewery since they're such a big spot then. Ohio has more beer than the law should allow. The market will determine that, right? A lot of places have closed. Magic City for the win. Yeah. Yeah, the rabbit hole, me and Ben stopped there on our way back before we climbed out of the valley. I'm looking forward to them getting food. They said probably not before Halloween, though. Or they're hoping to get it by Halloween, so the end of October. All being held up by the health department. I'm glad there's a health department that makes sure stuff is safe. It just seems like they're so slow in Summit County. These people are trying to open restaurants. They got all this money invested. They have to pay rent. And it just seems like it takes forever. Probably people in the White House right now that would do away with all health departments, and then we'd all be sick all the time, but whatever. Mile High said Strava is the way to go to meet people. Strava group for party pace riding. Oh, nice. You're up to 36 riders with that. Awesome. How far did this chat go without me? I know a guy in Indiana. It's me. I'm a guy in Indiana. Oh, Tanya, nice. You found a new group on Strava, all female riders, and also do some bike packing. Nice. In Springfield, Missouri. MKE Public Market. Yeah. We went to a really cool place on the river. We saw the bronze fonds. I'm trying to think of the bar we went to on the river. It had a bunch of PBR, obviously, stuff. But Brown County is sick, but some of that stuff is pretty rocky and tech. It'd be tough on the rigid. Yeah, I don't mind walking if I need to. You know, Dylan knows what I ride, and if he says I would have a good time, I would trust him, but we'll see. I mean, I ride rigid in New England, which is brutal, so. Philip, no. I was just getting some stuff set up for that today, but with kind of exactly as I predicted, got really into the idea in spring, and then summer hits, and I just want to ride my bike, so as the weather changes, probably post getting back from our New England trip is when I'll really get going with that. Me and Dave have made plans to, I need to finish off what used to be the old dark room is mostly a wood shop now, and I need to, like a rough wood shop for like just repairing stuff, not doing fine woodworking, but just saws and stuff. So I'm going to cut that in half, and there is a big dark room sink still in the back there, and we've made the plan to do it. We planned on it a couple Fridays, and then I ended up getting a gig. Then he ended up being busy, and so it just hasn't happened. But yeah, it's all still there in the works. So yeah. Founders Day, I think it's the day that Dr. Bob met, who was because he founded AA with someone else, Dr. Bob. And again, I'm a pretty good Akron expert, but AA is not my expertise, or I knew all this stuff. It's just kind of, I've filled my head with other information, like too much bike stuff. But yeah, it's the day they met, and it's so people do a pilgrimage to Akron on Founders Day and kind of go to all the locations that were important in the founding of AA, which is the hospital bed where I think the one guy was getting treated, Dr. Bob's house, and then there's Dr. Bob's grave in the cemetery in West Akron. So I think there's a couple more sites that are important for all that, so that people come out and just kind of go around. And I think there's it's almost like in a way, like, you know, when you do on a religious thing where you're going to do all these little things. Yeah. It's just the AA holiday, basically. Sean, you go up to Ray's? Yeah. iOverlander app. It's useful for finding free camping spots, though it's more intended for our RVs. Nice. Yeah, it's not free, but I like using HipCamp a lot. I find really cheap camping spots on HipCamp. I don't travel much with anyone who wants to stealth camp, so we usually pay. State parks are usually affordable, and then you get facilities. HipCamp is cool just because, like, even last time I wanted to spend the night in Columbus and I wasn't staying with a friend. I think I spent $20 to sleep in the woods in someone's backyard. So, yeah. Blossom Music Center, Raymond, would have been the venue. Yeah, Sean said that. A big outdoor amphitheater, absolutely beautiful. It's in the national park, or surrounded by the national park. Really beautiful. Big grass bowl, all woods, all behind it. Yeah, really cool spot. Aaron lives right by Blossom, so by there all the time. It's a consideration all summer long of what time we would leave, or if I'd be heading over there if I wasn't going to be on a bike, or if she was going to go shopping. She pretty much can't leave when Blossom is having a big concert. But I've seen Oasis at Blossom, so I might have been at the same concert. That was on the tour for their fourth album. So Standing on the Shoulder of Giants is when I saw them at Blossom. So yeah. AA is not my expertise. No shit. What's up, Pudgy? Well, you know what I mean. I know a ton of Akron history. So even though I enjoy beers, I like I said, I did know all the AA stuff, and I just have lost it. Like if the history doesn't get for me, if I know something, it doesn't stay there. It needs to be reinforced a couple times, over the years. So use bikes. You're coming up in the coming cool off. You're getting rid of a lot of bicycle stuff that has accumulated. I've thought about that too, and by that I mean like actual bicycles. like paring down because I got all these road bikes I don't ride, but yeah, I feel like I'm not going to sell my boxes of like vintage mountain bike derailleurs and like friction stuff and old Shimano stuff, but because it doesn't take up that much space, and I've obviously got the space in this like set for it. But I do think about that with bikes. It's like there's some of these bikes where I should just sell. They're just sitting now, But it's hard. I like look at my main road bike, which is 80s, but then has like 9-speed Dura-Ace. I'm like, I should sell that stuff. And then I'm like, man, but that's cool 9-speed Dura-Ace. I don't need it. It's hanging on the wall. But yeah. Yeah, Hip Camp, yeah. Yeah, I feel like stuff like Rays, if I would have got into that kind of riding earlier, would be cool. But like pushing 50, it just kind of scares me. Yeah. If we get to Boston, would love to ride together. Yeah. I said, still have a friend out there, so maybe I'll make it back at some point. But yeah, Akron's definitely important to sober peeps, and know that for sure. Yeah, you should get out here, and you should. I think Founders Day is late spring or early summer. Like I said, I really knew a lot of it when I lived in Highland Square because it affected the neighborhood on that weekend hugely. Like I said, just the motorcycles and the crush of people. But it didn't affect how busy the bars were, obviously. Where are you going, Edmund? Just repositioning? No, you out of here? All right, see you, bud. Pudgy, you're basically the same age as me, and bikes are one of the things not killing you. Yeah. Whoa. Oh. Yeah, I always do that, Pat, too. I definitely like rearrange. That's a good point. Like when it comes to getting ready for colder weather, which like I said we're not having it. It's 85 today, but
Standy became a member. Standy celebrates 54 months of membership. _Tim, beer emoji, _Tim, beer emoji, _Tim, beer emoji, _Tim, beer emoji.
Thanks, Jay Dandy. Wow, 54 months. Nice. I appreciate you. Yeah, I do that. I have like in the corner over there, I have a chair and I keep my like winter riding shoes over there and then all the external layers that I put on and take off in the basement. And so, yeah, just that stuff that make getting out the door way easier. But then upstairs, same thing, like pushing all the shorts to the back and bringing all the winter stuff, the tights and all that kind of stuff to the front. That is a good thing to do. Yeah, get my winter caps and all that kind of stuff. How far in advance do I plan big rides? If I'm going to be gone, yeah, usually a couple months. If I'm going to be actually, out of town, I need to because as my schedule fills up, I think anyone needs to either request off work, but as a freelancer too, I kind of need to know what's going on and work around that kind of thing. So,
Danny Boyle super chatted $20.
Thanks, Danny Boyle. I appreciate you. That's awesome. I really appreciate it, bud. But if you're talking about a big day ride, I could take off and do one of those sometimes just because I'm in the mood. But yeah, vacation-wise, like being gone for multiple days, yeah, a few months. We're more nimble if it's just overnighters. Like, I don't think I knew I was going to spend the night in Cleveland until a couple days before, but I did know that I didn't have to be anywhere on Sunday, so. Places lost. You just got into mountain biking the past couple of years. You asked your uncle who's in his 60s and does it and is a PT if you should keep at it or not take the chances with your body. Yeah, I feel like the chances I take are more like, I don't know. I'm not crazy. I'm not like getting crazy air or anything like that. I guess shit could happen on any mountain bike ride or any ride for that matter. But I'm not that extreme anyways. I'm not doing jump lines and stuff like that. Or if I am, I'm just getting little bunny hops in. But Man, I'd have to feel the exercise of mountain biking though, like climbing out of mountain bike trails has to be good for you and worthwhile.
Bruce Wright subscribed to the channel.
Thanks, Bruce. Oh, he said to keep at mountain biking. I missed that. Sorry. Yeah, I would figure you're better off moving like that and getting your heart rate up and all that, keeping your muscles good. Can't convince yourself to try the quarter pipes or anything super big, but at 39, you love the green trail, most of the tech area. Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I just never, like even mountain biking, I did when I was younger. We poached hiking trails and stuff, but I was never just like that extreme. And also, it's Ohio. Not that we don't have some fun, fast mountain bike trails now, and there's rough stuff from back in the day. I just kind of just never really did it, never really got crazy going down hills or anything. So, yeah, I'm fairly conservative. I was never that extreme. When my friends were like owling down like 5 steps, I'm like, it's way more than I'm ever going to do on my skateboard. I think about breaking my ankles. It's just who I am. So, yeah. I have friends who use warm showers. I've never used it. I know some warm showers can be like, setting up a tent in the backyard. In my mind, it's always like staying in someone's like house, which I wouldn't be into. But yeah, I think it all says what you get out of it. But I haven't used it. I have a friend, the owner of Akron Coffee Roasters, used to be a warm showers host, and I know he's used it too. But Blonde Gracie, if you don't hit like, I'm not sure we could be friends. Yeah, thanks again, Danny, for the 20. I appreciate that. Is that a trashed wheel behind me? It's the rim. Yeah, it's a dented Aeron. I just got it. It's 2 dented up, so I had the wheel, like the hub, rebuilt into a new Aeron because I still really like those wheels. But yeah, that's one that I just beat up too much. A lot of it was probably out east at Nutmeg, and the trail's out that way. So sounds like there's a cricket down here now. Get some coffee and sandwich in the morning, my friend. Thank you. I will, because I am taking off early on my bike to go ride around Akron and do some photography jobs. I've got everything set because like this morning I got up and then I slept in too long and I had to drive and I was mad at myself. So I have the bike ready with all my camera stuff and everything else. So one of my plans was to, if I couldn't get myself up to make the coffee here, grab it at Akron Coffee on the way. So I appreciate that. What's up, Henderson? The Gold Coast in Australia. First time you had the chance to catch the live. Nice. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It is a great community. Appreciate that. Down to Horns. Yeah, Horns is way beyond what I'm going to do. Oh, man. I would die at Horns. Couple of Australians in the chat tonight. How often do I go out on motorists? More often than I'd like to, but I don't know, every 5th ride? I don't know, probably a little less than that, but I do a lot of like, but once in a while, if they're really, really bad, I will definitely let them know. I had a guy kind of rolled through a stop sign when I had the right of way and I had stopped. So this isn't even like I was just rolling. And then I was like, whatever. He cut me off somehow. This is about a month ago. And I can't remember what I was like, what the fuck, whatever, yelled. And then he ended up like turning a different way and like coming up next to me. He's like, hey man, I'm really sorry. I'm a cyclist too. And I was like, okay, just try and pay a little more attention. So he almost hit me in some way. It would have been slow, but it was still, if someone's really aggressive, I get really aggressive. I have a temper. Really bad temper, unfortunately, with that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not learning new tricks over jumps these days, but you still get after it every now and then. Nice. Warm showers is sort of hit or miss. When you rode the OTET years ago, everyone you reached out to forgot they were even a host on there. That makes sense because, like I said, I think my buddy's still on there, and I don't think his wife wants him hosting anyone anymore. I think his warm shower is just not as popular anymore. It was like a big deal in the day, and stuff like Hip Camp and Airbnb have kind of stole its thunder, maybe. Oh yeah, man. I enjoy watching your Instagram content and YouTube videos when I get to them. Like I said, I haven't been getting to that much bike content this summer. Just mostly I'm out riding, and then most of the stuff I watch is real nerdy history, physics. I'm on a real historical Jesus kick. I love first century stuff. So, and I actually really love the history of early Christianity. I find it fascinating, even though I'd probably say agnostic is what I'd probably my views. But yeah, love. That's what I've been listening to a lot or watching a lot on YouTube lately. So how the Gospels were written, Paul's letters, all that stuff. But yeah, anyways, all that to say, I do like following you on Instagram and seeing what someone in a completely different place, what the riding is like. It's so cool. And that's when we were talking about like social media earlier. That's one reason it's so hard to give up, because as evil as Meta is, I get to watch what someone in more than halfway around the world is doing and what their riding looks like. So because we can connect it over bikes. Oh, Dennis, you got the R50? Nice. Wait, I'm thinking the Wait, is the R50 the new one? Was that even shipping yet, or now I'm trying to remember which camera is the R50. Oh, that's the EOS, like the mirrorless. Nice. Yeah, they just put out that new cinema camera, and I'm like, no one could have got that yet. But
Ricochet K became a member.
thanks, Ricochet K. I appreciate it. Oh,
Robot became a member.
it lets you gift memberships like Twitch now? I didn't even know that.
Clunk became a member.
Was that 4? I think it's going to stop one more time.
Kill 40 became a member. Turnip Green became a member.
We need our British guy to speed up a little bit. But yeah, thanks so much, Spencer. I didn't know that was an option on. That's a thing that Twitch has had for a long time, gifting memberships. I didn't know YouTube had added that. I truly appreciate it. So any of the new members listening, there's obviously other bonus content out there. So, oh yeah, thanks again. Yeah, looking at the R50. That is their APS-C sensor camera, but it still does 4K, right? Yeah. Yeah, RF mount 4K. Nice. Are they aiming that one more at stills or more at video? I can't remember. 'Cause I watched the reviews when it came out, but yeah, very cool. Nice. Congratulations on. It's always nice to get a cool new piece of gear to use. Boxo, you have a bad reputation among your friends and fellow riders for mouthing off at drivers. Yeah, I'm a little better when I'm with Erin, but if someone really gets my nerves, I go off. Erin's gone off too, but she's not nearly as a hothead as I am. So, oh yeah, Sean, the phone in the hand, like even at an intersection when someone doesn't almost hit me, but they're just sitting there and the light turns green and they're just staring at their phone. It's like, dude, can you put that down for a minute? Like, yeah. Closest you've ever been to punching a car? I've done it a few cars. One time, a guy, I was just sitting the light was red, and it was like I was sitting at the intersection where the main, like a busy street, Market Street in Akron, was in front of me, and I was just gonna go, like when the light turned green, cross Market to a road that's not busy, and he pulls up behind me and starts honking. And I'm like, what's he? I look, I'm like, light's red, bro. And so I turn back around. He starts honking again. And he yells at me to get out of the way. I don't think I've ever been more set off in my life, because I'm like, I'm not in the way. The light's red. The second this light turns green, I'm going to slide over and you're going to pass me. I got off my bike, walked over, kicked in his door, said, now that's what you get. For every cyclist you've done that to, now you've got hundreds of dollars of body work to do. And got back on my bike and then broke off down the sidewalk, cut through a cemetery, and got out of there. Because I'm sure he was going to call the cops, obviously, because I would have too. Naptown, you've been watching sailboat stuff on YouTube lately. I can't explain why. There are those rabbit holes that happen to me. I mean, we've talked about it in the winter of watching bushcraft stuff, how a lot of people get hooked on bushcraft. That I went down that rabbit hole a couple winters ago where it's just like, this is not relevant that to me that much, but here I am. So I think that organizing is part of getting rid of stuff. Yeah. And that's one thing that I like to do a couple times. Like, I'd like to do it a couple times a year, maybe once a year. Is I kind of go through all this stuff and organize it. And that's when I realize, like, hey, this is something that could get out of here for sure. I take the lane on certain roads. There's certain places where I just still feel around here like someone's going to kill me. That being said, when I rode in Boston in the summer, I had a pretty good experience, and I thought that was crazy, and that's what I made the video about because I'd been there a number of times to visit my friends and do some work, and I thought it was being in a car there was absolutely terrifying. So I'm like, being on a bike here, I'm going to be very cautious and stay in bike lanes, but now I rode around like downtown and like the old parts of town like it was New York City, and I felt totally fine. But a lot of people did comment that that is a summer thing, like that, because I was saying the vibe felt very different in the summer, and a lot of people said that's true of Boston. So let me know if you think that. But like the aggressiveness when I've been there in the fall and winter, like my buddy who moved out there, he's from Youngstown, Ohio. He calls it the angriest city on the planet, and that had been my experience until last summer. So, what's up, Bruce? Yep. Easy hour, all cleaned up. I shave once or twice a year. I prefer being shaved. Like, I like this better. Like, I just hate shaving, and I have a really rough beard. So when I shave, it's all ingrown hairs. And if I were to shave every day, I would be a bloody mess. So when I had a manager job years ago in my 20s, they wanted you to be clean shaven, and I'm like, I cannot shave every day. I can't do it. Like, it's too painful. But yeah, my slave drive in Romanian Boston didn't care. Any tips for hot rain riding? Get wet. Get wet and change your clothes. Yeah, I don't think there's any good rain gear. I really don't. For hot weather, I don't. You'll get wetter from sweat. I'd rather get wet from the rain. I've said that a lot of times, but that's the truth. If it's cold, trying to stay dry makes sense, but if it's going to be wet, if it's going to be hot, you know, hopefully wear some lightweight wool stuff or just breathable synthetics, and then yeah, either dry out or change your clothes. But yeah, I don't believe in like warm weather rain gear at all. Even on bike tours, I only bring rain gear in the summer for like if we're setting up camp and it's raining, or we're getting up in the morning and it's raining. I never ride in it. So unless it's really, really cold. So Hanadu, you upgraded your gravel bike yesterday with the Future Shock 3.3 and new bar tape. Went to your local bike shop to buy a waffle and coffee, then walked out. All right, nice. Spending a lot. Oh, you walked. I got you. You got this done at the bike shop. Yeah. That's what happened to Erin today. She walked in to have her new Grep bar tape put on from Concrete Revolt and then Concrete Trails, and then ended up coming out, she said, a few $100s deep. So yeah, thanks again, Spencer. That's awesome. Oh man. Bruce? Are you calling me Bruce Campbell? QWERTY? I've watched Reese. I went down the train hopper rabbit hole for about a couple weeks. Large actually got me into it. He told me about it. Something popped up in my feed. Maybe something popped up on Discord. It's kind of cool because I have Discord linked to YouTube, and also any channel members you could do that too. And there's it signifies that you're a channel member in the Discord. But so I think the recommendations, like Google's algorithm knows when you guys share stuff in the Discord videos to me. So yeah. Heading to a CBJ preseason game soon. You've heard you could bring an SLR and one lens, but you need to make sure. Yeah, it's weird because a lot of times, Pudgy, what like concert venues and sports venues will say is no professional cameras, and I'm like, what does that mean in their mind? Because like to me, my R8 is is that a professional camera? If I put a plastic lens on it, I wouldn't use it like one with my cheap 50 for work, but yeah, I don't know. It's going to be up to the security guard, and if I've ridden my bike somewhere, I'd be screwed. So I hate in those situations that I leave it at home, but I do. Whacking a hood or a trunk. Oh, yeah, I did. I slapped someone's hood the other day. They were sitting in the bike lane. They had pulled out and just stopped, and they were just sitting there in the bike lane, not moving forward or backwards. So when I rode around, I slapped the hood, but I didn't do any damage. It was just she was scared the bejesus out of her. It's like, she looked at me like, what? I was like, don't sit in the bike lane. So I think maybe she learned a lesson. So yeah, JP is where I stay when I go to Boston, at the border of JP and Roxbury. That's where my friends live. Right by the, right at the road that goes up to the old zoo. What do they call that park where the old bear cages are? That's where they are. Every winter, the cozy shit gets you. Like you enjoy staying inside because it's 18th century cooking and it's bedtime. Yeah. I'm always trying to get out. There are times when I do. There's times where you're sitting in somewhere and it's snowing outside and the coziness and all that. But obviously, living in this building, I can't have a fireplace or any kind of thing like that, which I kind of miss. But go over to Aaron's for that. I love the winter like fires and all that. How common are showers when you are camping? For us, they're pretty common because we try to stay at state parks when we can, and so there's usually good facilities, or even smaller parks. We stayed at one outside Xenia that was like a county park. Hip camps, they're going to be hit or miss, so yeah, don't always know. We try to go swimming if we can, or there's times where we're at parks where there's showers, and I just go swimming. I know Ames and Brad still shower no matter what, but if I got to swim in a clean lake, and I don't care about the shower. But I'm not. Yeah, I'm a dirtball. I don't really. I'm comparative to some people. I don't shower every day. I hear my 110 showers twice a day. I don't know. I'm sure there's been a time in my life where I've done that, so I'm not overly concerned as long as I could rinse my face and stuff. But now if it rains, my bike gets wet. It's not going to get damaged. I mean, you're gonna, try and keep it dry if you can. Put it under a tarp if you can. But if it rains overnight and then you ride it the next day and re-loop the chain, you should be able to avoid surface dust and all, or surface rust and all that. So, yeah, bikes get wet. They're made to get wet. I don't ride anything electronic or anything, even though that stuff's made to get wet too. Yeah, can't be too precious about it. I buy bikes to ride them, so that's why I'm not that interested in like super expensive, like awesome, like that I think are beautiful custom bikes and stuff. Because, yeah, my bikes are they're gonna get scratched. I'm gonna dent rims and have to get new ones. But went down the hub rabbit hole. That's what, Pudgy, I think a couple of the commenters, and maybe you said that to me about Boston, that people, like, when the college kids aren't there, it's a lot calmer, so. Yeah, Sean, there's still, even when I'm way slower than traffic, there's a time where I want to make sure I'm seen, so I maybe not taking the lane, but I don't want to be too far over so you don't get sideswiped. But, yeah, everything depends for me. There's no hard and fast rules on riding a bike. And then places, like we've talked, places are so different, like, the way I feel on my bike in the middle of Midtown in New York is safer than I feel on my bike, like out on State Road out in front of my studio. So, yeah, warm rain gear is something light that'll dry fast when it stops raining. Yep. Yeah, like we got rained out on the last bike tour, and I don't think anyone put any rain gear on. We just got wet. I used the Terry B shirt. It's really nice synthetic sun shirt, long sleeve stuff from Endo Customs. That's great. I think by the time we got to the cafe, it had dried. So, yeah, I can't buzz cutter on the lowest settings. Yeah, I feel like I'd be. One of the other things too is that I'm just like doing more work to maintain. I don't know. I'm just lazy with it. So. Thanks again, Spencer. Appreciate you. Have a good night at work. So. Bodie Outdoors, you said you're a northerner that moves south to the Bible Belt. They think your temper is unreasonable when they run you over. Yeah. Well, they'll find out. Yeah. Yeah, there is a Discord, ! Discord, and there'll be a link, Bruce. Shy and Gifkas make some cool videos, which sometimes include riding trains. I don't know which channels I've watched. Like when I've watched train riding, it's been like saw one and then the algorithm served them up. I watched them for a couple weeks and then I haven't for a while, and now they've fallen out of the algorithm. So. Bruce, you said you're too afraid to. Yeah, I mean, I probably put myself at risk by that. It's not good to go off on. Yeah, you never know what a driver has in the car or if they'll try to run you over. If I do really go off on a car, I'm ready to flee, and I've already planned an escape route. I am not going to be riding down the same road as them. So, but, yeah. Bike for Stupidity as a potential competitor, Tim Fitzwater. I'm not sure you mean by that. I have so this company sent me a horn for my bike that has like you could set it up either Bluetooth or wired, and they asked if I wanted to try it out, and I was like, sure. And in my mind, it was small, and it was going to make maybe like a funny beep or a fun beep that would work. It is like a full-on car horn, and it's too loud. They asked me, they're like, hey, are you going to show that horn in any of the videos? And I'm like, if I use this on the towpath, like people would fall off their bikes. It would scare the bejesus out of them. My joke was I was going to bring it on the group ride and scare the shit out of my friends. I think it's not even safe to do that. It's so loud. When I blasted it in the studio, like Edmund took off running, and I was like, this is too loud to like press in here. So they sent me a couple videos, and it's more like e-bike city riding, which if I lived in, somewhere like a busier city would make sense to throw on a commuter bike, but it's crazy. I need to at least throw it on something and make some Instagram stories in some way, but yeah, it's not an air horn, but I feel like the decibels are close. Oh yeah, group rides taking the lane for sure, bud. Yeah, I do think there's a time, like when we do bike party, to at least take one of the lanes. We don't mind riding two abreast sometimes, depending on where we are. I got people complained about that in one of my videos a lot, because of that one video that blew up about bike lanes and stuff like that. But where we were doing two abreast, it's because the bike lane ended and we were making sure we were taking the lane so people didn't cut us off into the curb. But yeah, a bunch of idiot drivers, and then people who only ever, and no offense, but people who only ever throw their bike in a car and go down to a trail just don't understand what riding in a city is like. People got offended by that too. I said, hey, if you're one of those people, that's fine, but I'm just not interested in your opinion. If you don't ever ride to where you're going or commute or ride in traffic, that's fine. You do whatever you need to do to feel safe, but I don't need you weighing in on the conversation of how to ride a bike when you're doing it for environmental reasons and health reasons and to have one less car on the road. You're just not in the same, you're not doing the same thing I am, and that's fine, but don't tell me how to ride my bike then, because you don't do it. So reach out, lobster roll on you. Yeah. Basically what happened is my friend's getting divorced, so that's why I haven't been out there. And so I was even doing some work for his wife for one of the seafood companies right there in the harbor. It was pretty cool, but so I don't know if that'll happen again, but yeah, I don't like mirrors. I know people like mirrors. I could hold my line and glance behind me. I find it distracting, but I know I have friends who love them. So yeah, it's not my cup of tea. I just don't really, I don't like, What's going to happen if you're going to get hit at speed from behind? At least you'll know were about to get hit. I could see where it'd come in handy on turning sometimes. So if you didn't have to turn around and you were trying to make a left turn or go around a car, that say you were riding on the side, I get that. But yeah, people love those bike radars too that show you. I tried one from Olight or Magic Shine, I think it actually was. They sent me one of the bike radars and I tried it out. I found that it was kind of cool in the country because if you're zoned out and then a car's coming up behind you and you could see it on your head unit. In the city, it was just going off nonstop and driving me crazy. I'd rather not be distracted. But again, this is not to put down mirrors or the bike radars. If they work for you, that's great. I don't like them. I find them distracting. But what's up, Joseph? I saw you comment last week, and that's what I said at the beginning of this stream. When I have party size on, kind of just stay on topic and don't get to all the comments. But yeah, it was nice to meet you at the Hoban game. I did get out there actually again last Friday to get a few more photos, but I felt like there was a couple things I missed. So yeah, but me and Joseph met each other when I was working for Hoban's marketing team, a Catholic high school around here. So yeah, nice to meet you. Some get wet, others feel the rain. Nice. I must be way behind for still. What time is it too? 10:30? Yeah, go a little longer. See if I could get caught up, but. Delta Air Sound is a fun horn. Loved mine until the air canister sprung a leak. Oh, nice. What's up, Ed? Give it to me. I have people nearby with clean underwear, and that horn sounds magical. It would. That would definitely. That's what it's like. I don't think you could get away with it very long in Mechanicsburg, Pudgy. Everyone would know you in a second. Oh, yeah, we were talking about the bike bell reactions a few weeks ago, but yeah. Blaze, you like them too? Yeah. Oh, Bikes for Stupidity is a YouTube channel. I've never seen that one yet, so. Rider's daily commute by bike in New York City. He has many angry encounters and outbursts. Huh. Yeah, New York's one of the places where I have the least amount of trouble, and that's by not even coming close to following the traffic laws. I feel like you have to follow the etiquette of how people ride in New York City is important, and how drivers expect you to ride. But yeah, I've never had any issues there really. Wonder what an air horn would sound like with a 4,500 PSI PCP tank. I don't know. I need to. This is one thing. I've got my favorite bell right here, and I keep that Large actually got me for Christmas during the pandemic. And I need to mount this back on. I want it on my gunner. I'm gonna set it every time I never think about it until I'm out riding because I hung it there like over a year ago when I changed bars or something, and then but these are my favorite. They're so loud. So yeah, a lot of sustain too. Put sealant in the air canister. Oh, thanks, man. Or I didn't establish. I don't think that you were a man, but. Dude is my catch-all phrase, but post a picture of your gravel bike in the Discord and figure out how to use your Twitch account to boost the channel. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Erin, my girlfriend is Erin, but both the Erins have had a ton of growth this cycling. The other Erin is Novak Heating and Cooling, who gave me I can never point on camera. That's a real skill. The rat right there. So. Just got home from. Hey, what's up, Thrifty? Glad to see you're still going. Thought you missed your Tuesday night bike check. Yeah, a couple more minutes, but I do got to get going because I said I'm going to get up and hop on my bike in the morning to go to work. So, hey, what's up, Steven Marino? Yeah, it seems last week it seemed like there was a divide between the people who like the mirror up here and the people, like someone was saying they think they're worthless when they're like the bar end ones, but other people were saying they love the bar end ones. So like I said, as someone who doesn't really ride with them, don't have an opinion on it. But yeah, Spur Cycle, trying to think of the name, but yeah, I love Spur Cycle bells. They're so loud. Oh, there's no pink on this. That's the reflection off my it's just as full black. The pink is a reflection off the Pabst neon sign. Yeah, they're the best. They're expensive, but the sound is so good. Also, they're the only thing that scare Canadian geese that we found. Nothing else scares Canadian geese except Spur Cycle bells. So I think if I said it, I have a bandana there that's yellow, so it'll stand out on there. Yeah, Miguel, she since she switched her Crossbound Bora to the Velo Orange granola bars, she's been loving it. She liked it with the drop bars too, don't get me wrong. She has such a dialed, her fit is so dialed. Like if she changes like different shorts or different pants, she'll adjust her saddle to go with it. But yeah, she's been really comfortable since she put the, she's really liked it with the sweet bars too. Something about bikes that will cause you to put off putting a part on for a whole year. Yeah. Pudgy always gets on my case about that. He's like, you haven't done that yet? And I'm like, I just go and ride. Like, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you use the radar but have it on silent so you just get the visual. Yeah, I would definitely prefer it set up like that. I do think that, like I said, riding out, there's been times where I've been zoned out in the country and it's just kind of cool to know there's a car coming up behind you. But again, I mean, when I'm riding in the country and a car's doing 50, I don't know how much good is it going to do me. I don't know. I always feel like that. If I'm worrying about that, am I ever going to be enjoying my ride? I don't know. We don't call them Canadian anymore. What's in Aaron's fanny pack? Usually snacks. Usually gummy worms. The sour, are they sour? She has gummy worms in there all the time. But I think she does phone, keys, wallet, and gummy worms in her fanny pack. But yeah, I've tried. I've got a chrome one. Even when my camera bags would work around my waist, I tried it. I always end up hooking over my shoulder. I think it's the way I built, though. I mean, I've always had a hard. I don't know. I always kind of feel like my pants are falling down. So fanny packs do not work for me at all. I just do not find it comfortable. But hate them damn geese. Yeah, they're horrible here. Like that lake I ride out around here in Akron, that little inland lake that we have the trail around. They're horrible over there. At first when I knew, Pudgy, you were talking about the radars, but I'm thinking in the city the geese are kind of dumb. That's where I think they're the most dumb. Sean, you said your partner had a success with against the geese with a squeaker horn that looked like a rubber duck. Nice. On the other hand, you hit one on the mountain bike when your bell was on cowbell mode ringing away. Yeah. I was riding with Large once, and he grabbed I think he was on a single speed. He grabbed the brake so hard I think it ripped his brake off, his front brake. Yeah, to try and avoid hitting a goose. He didn't go down that hard though, thank God. When is idiot going to try and tear off the geese? Well, it's funny, when we were riding with Otis right after that, he kept yelling that at all the geese. Tear us. So. All right, dudes. I think this is a perfect time to end it for the night. So flamethrowers work well on them. Yep, the geese around Summit Lake are the worst. Yeah, they actually go after you. Some will go after you. But so yeah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I hoping to do it with Party Size next week. I'll let everyone know for sure. I think the idea was that instead of Party Size saying something BS, I have something that's BS. I know some of you already heard it, but I'm not going to say it out loud because the chat will blow up. I'll save it for next week. But yeah, got a couple of videos in the works over the weekend for the Towpath 100 and the cyclocross race, Woody's, but that'll take a little longer to get out because weather dependent. I'm hoping to do something a little more fancy, little longer to edit and all that stuff. So All right, everyone. Appreciate everyone. Appreciate everyone just being here, but it is really nice when people donate. Definitely got to call out and say thanks to that because it makes a difference. It does help keep doing this and buying the gear to make this hopefully work. Tonight it worked. I think I can't believe how high the upspeed stayed. Anyways, gonna keep rambling if I don't just say goodbye. All right, see you in the next one.
See myself on your YouTube.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Cause
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.
In the awful way, holiday, holiday today, and all I want to say, holiday, holiday today. You catch the first train home, drive to be alone, yeah, and all I want to do is to get with you. Hey, in the awful way, holiday, holiday today, and all I want to say, holiday, holiday today. You catch the first train home, drives to be alone, yeah, and all I want to do is to get with you. Hey!
Thank you video. I need to make. I'm doing this summary.